I got to talk to Streamlabs about this setup because it requires me to do a fly on the edit. You know, I mean, an edit on the fly. Yeah, I'm drinking. An edit on the fly. Hi, everybody. Whew. MJ here. It's kind of warm in this jacket. It's too cold without it, and it's too hot with it. I got my batik on tonight. Any excuse that I can use to wear my Indonesian batik, I'm there because I love it. And it reminds me of the pleasant times I had in the summer in Bali. And I'm just waiting for the good weather again. So now what I did was, before I had the text box right in the corner like this, I have moved it up and in a little bit so it's not quite against the bottom corner. I want to try that and see what it looks like tonight. I think it might be a little bit easier to see. So I'm going to go to full screen mode. There you go. And I did that primarily to make it easier for me to see the comments without being interfered with by the little arrow down here that I have to go back to the regular screen. Okay. I got a couple of updates. I have booked the room, the karaoke room, and table number 10 in front of Win-Win's place next door, the usual place, the iconic place. For next Sunday, we have several people coming from various countries to visit us here in Taiwan, namely Caspar, JL, John from LA, and Yuka's supposed to be here, and there may be, I know Jevons is coming. There may be one other person. I'm not sure about John Sabot. John Sabot hasn't been feeling too good. He's got an eye problem that has to get cleared up. And I think we're going to have 6 or 7 people. Anyway, I've booked the rooms. Everything's all set. So they're going to be here. Local time will be 7 p.m. That would be 2300 hours UTC. And the good part about it is it's an early night. Not like when John Ho was here and Jevons years ago, or last year, years ago. Actually, it seems like years ago in internet time. Last year, and they went upstairs, you know, in the karaoke room with me, and we sang songs last year. If you remember that. This is going to be a lot earlier. We were in there till 4 a.m. at that time because we didn't get started till after 10, like, you know. So now we're going to be starting really early. They're leaving Taipei at 6. They'll be here at 7. And we'll get a little bit of Thai food, a little bit of food from Win-Win's. And we're going to turn on the scope. Probably around 8 o'clock, which would be 0 UTC. That would be, yeah, that would be 11:30. That would be 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States. So hopefully that won't be too late. Is that right? 7? Wait a minute. Hang on. I'm sorry. 7. No. That would be 6 p.m. What am I doing? I get my time zones all mixed up. 6 p.m. 6 p.m. That's about when I think. 6 or 7 p.m. That's about when I think it's going to happen. Now. Xie. Okay, 好，谢谢. She forgot it. Now, I just had my food arrive. Got some more of these beautiful spring rolls. Look at this. And the appropriate greens and the sauce that goes with it. I do not have my LED chopsticks with me tonight. But anyway, I got that. And then we have, she's going to bring some chopsticks in a minute. And I got my spiced rum, so. Cheers. Okay, that's a new girl I haven't seen before. All right, so they got new girls here every week. So that's taken care of. So if we go on the air, at 8 o'clock p.m., this is, for example, our time, it'll be 7. Oh gosh, that's right. If it's p.m., it's a.m. 7 a.m. Eastern. Wow, it's gonna be early. The scopers are going to be here until midnight or 1 a.m. So that would be 11 or 12 a.m. Eastern time. So hopefully we'll have a few people that will be able to join us on Sunday morning because it'll be Sunday evening here, Sunday morning. And of course, Europe's a different story. And we're always hoping we have Henry join us too, if we can. Now, I haven't done the songs yet. Here's the thing that I came up with an idea. See, T has the same songbook that Win has. And right now, T's place is closed because his chef is in Vietnam for a wedding. Her brother's getting married. So I want to borrow the book with the English songs. I want to put them on my scanner, and I want to scan all the pages for the English songs, put them in a file on my website so that everybody can download that file and see the songs that we have and then prompt us for the songs that they want us to sing. That would be fun. So I talked to Caspar and Jevons about that, and I thought that'd be a good idea. Haven't done it yet, but that's okay because a lot of that will probably be going on in real time. As long as I get it done by the night of the show. But I'm going to try to see T tomorrow and borrow that book from him and get going. And that way, because when I go on, it's not coffee, Henry. It's rum. But yeah, thanks. How you doing? Nice to see you. I want to get that book and scan it, because when I go on stream, my usual night for streaming is Thursday night my time. I can give you guys the URL for it, and I'm going to take a look at what it looks like. I may decide to put all the images on one long web page that you can just press the space bar and scroll down and go up. Or I might make it a downloadable file that you have to look at. I think a downloadable file is more advantageous because you can download it on a tablet or on a phone and scroll it. But it will be some kind of an image file, whether it's a PDF or a JPEG. So how you doing, Henry? How's everything? Anyway, I'm going to take a look at it and decide what I'm going to do once I see how it looks on the scanner. But the idea is for us to be in the karaoke room and on Periscope or on YouTube or on whatever, because I know Caspar uses some other stuff, whatever live streaming platform that we have. Not a playlist, just the song list that's available. You know, all the songs in the book. There's 11 pages or something, or 10 pages or something. I want to make all those songs available so people who watch the streams can request songs if they want to. They can say they want to hear JL sing, you know, He Ain't Heavy, something like that, for example. That's what I'm talking about, just to make it a little bit interesting. John, how you doing? John, next week, the Scopers will be here, and we're going to go up in the classic room that we went in before. And I was just talking about this. I don't know if you heard. I'm going to make a file of all the songs from the book, so the Scopers who are watching the live stream can request songs. So yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. But oh, holy cow. Sorry about that, Henry. John, we're looking forward to it too. But we really, really wish you could be here. We're going to miss you, man. I mean, it's not going to be the same without you, John. Because Jevons is going to join us too. And so we'll get everybody to say hi to you. I was really hoping you would join. I hadn't seen you for a while, man. Be good. So, gonna meet JL? Yeah. Well, we're still here, so I got to get over to Thailand. I've been wanting to take my little kid to Thailand too. And I've got an invitation to go to Chiang Mai to stay at my friend's resort up there too. Yeah, they can. They can. And Jevons can bring a whole nother element to the mix too, because he can sing the Taiwanese songs. I can't do that. I don't want to speak for John, but I don't think John can do the Taiwanese songs either. But yeah, the Cantonese and the John can sing the English songs, the Cantonese, and the Chinese songs. But yeah, that's cool. So now the thing is next door. Oh, by the way, John, we have no pranks planned unless somebody's got a prank planned for me that I don't know about, which wouldn't surprise me. But next door, you recall, is the Long Thai, the Thai place. And so we all know that JL speaks Thai. So we're going to go over there and order some food, and I want JL to go in the kitchen and talk to the boss lady. I want to see the boss lady's face with the, you know, when the Swiss boy can speak Thai. That's what I want to see. It's going to be interesting. So do you guys like my yellow jacket? It's a little bit bright, don't you think? It's kind of a rainy night. It's supposed to rain until Thursday. It's been raining for the last 2 days. I'm done with it. It's been dripping in the middle of the night and making noise and just pain in the neck. All right, so we got these, I got some mint leaves here on the Vietnam spring rolls, and boy, do they look good. Love those mint leaves. So this must be like really bright in 720p. I did a test. I did a test to check out the readability of the comments, and right down to 240p you can read the comments. It's so good. So I don't know, Henry. I don't know what perilla leaves are. I'm not sure. It's regular mint, you know, like peppermint. And I'll find a good example here I can show you. Yeah, you guys have seen this. Those are the leaves there. You've seen that. This kind of detail you can't do on Periscope because the back camera never focuses that close in Periscope. Only on YouTube. I don't know why. It's the same camera. They're just regular mint leaves. So. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. I don't think I've ever had that. I don't think I've ever heard that name, so I don't think I've had those before. Not known it anyway. Oh, okay. Well, we probably call that something else because we have a kind of lettuce in Taiwan that we use for Korean food. I never heard it called perilla. There's got to be another name for it. Anyway, yeah, we have a kind of lettuce that we use for Korean food here in Taiwan. Boy. Those things are so good. Now, I'm going to CT tomorrow. I'm going to talk to him about the the songs. And my thinking is to make a file, probably a PDF file, a multi-page PDF file. PDFs are searchable too. I can make a really nice PDF file and put it on my website with a link to download. And that way anybody who's watching the scope, we can promote that link. And somebody could, you know, download it to another device and read the song list and say, oh, I like this song and I want, you know, so-and-so to sing it. Now hopefully if we know it, My problem is I don't know a lot of songs. I've heard some of them, but I don't know a lot of them. But yeah. The other problem is the English songs here, as you know, aren't so hip. A lot of them are, you know, pretty old. But it is what it is. Bernardo, how you doing? All right, good to see you. Yeah, our burned comments to YouTube are looking good tonight. Wow, really nice. I had the corner of the box all the way down against the stop, and now I moved it up and in a little bit, so it's not quite slammed against the corner. It's up a little bit, and I think it looks better that way. Plus, I'm using full screen mode, and that way I see the comments as they get burned to the stream as opposed to the comment preview. Good. Okay, so do you agree that it looks better up and off a little bit? Looks like it's about that far up and it's about the same amount in. So, okay, good. Great on TV, fantastic. That's what I'd like to hear. The only thing I don't seem to be able to control is the username color. Excellent, okay, thanks. I'm gonna leave it like this for now. Like right now, your username is green. It rotates, sometimes it's yellow, sometimes it's purple. When it's purple, it's hard to see. I cannot do anything about that. I've got no control over that. The only thing I can control is the background color of the box and the foreground color of the main text. And I'm leaving it at stock. I'm leaving it white on dark, which I think is going to cover just about everything. Because we were in the market the other day, excuse me, and there were a plethora of different colors, and every comment was completely intelligible over all that noise. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave it like that. You can go nuts on this stuff, you know. You can be never satisfied if you really want to get what we say in Chinese, gui mao, which means turtle hair. If you really, really want to get so completely out of control, like a stickler for such details, you can go nuts, never be satisfied with it. I'm just glad that the people at Streamlabs worked with me. We got it running, and it looks so good. And the thing that kills me is it's absolutely free. Why would you use anything else? I was using the YouTube app. The YouTube app stinks. The native YouTube Go Live constantly buffering. I'd have to quit the scope, restart, rejoin, constantly buffering. No comments burned. It just goes nuts. I'm not going to use the YouTube app again. Streamlabs is my go-to for YouTube. Next week I'm going to broadcast on YouTube and also on Periscope at the same time. I've got two gimbals. I'm going to set them up. I'm going to set up my iPhone 5 on Periscope because iPhones work better with Periscope. And then I'm going to set up my Android on YouTube on two different gimbals. That's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll tell you what, we're going to have the battery banks a pumping though, because we're probably going to be on the air for 3 or 4 hours straight. So the Wi-Fi boxes and the phones are all going to be on battery banks for sure. So look at this night. Behind me is the street. It's all slick. It's been raining all day. Right now, it's just a little niggling, sprinkling. It does seem more stable, doesn't it? It's amazing. And they have an app for iOS too. So if I wanted to use it, if something was wrong with my Android phone, I already have it installed. and set up on my iPhone. The problem with my iPhone is the screen isn't responsive. I don't know what it is about the iPhone. I tap something, I tap something, I tap something. It doesn't register. I gotta tap it like 50 times. Like the corners of the screen have little anchors that you can pull, you know, to make the boxes bigger. It doesn't work on my iPhone. I can move the whole chat box around, you know, in the center of it, but I can't grab the anchors on the corners and move, you know, the shape, the size of the box, the shape of the box. I don't know why. Can't do it. Doesn't work. Tried it a million times. But anyway, Streamlabs is set up on my iPhone, so I could stream to YouTube with the iPhone too. So we're going to go to Periscope on the MJ Klein channel next Sunday. I'm wondering if this coming Thursday, which is my regular day to stream, I'm wondering if I should also stream to Periscope, do kind of a promotional stream for Sunday. What do you guys think? Wow, this mint is good. Should we do that? Should we do a promotional stream? What do you think? I think usually it's a good idea. It's almost never negative, almost always positive. And I could bring some, you know, paper with the URLs and stuff. One of the things that I want to show on Sunday, okay, cool. One of the things that I want to show on Sunday, no, it couldn't hurt, not really. So I want to show, I might move those comments in just a little bit more. Let me do this. Excuse me. Bear with me for 1 second. Watch out for my finger. I think I'm going to move these comments in right there. Let's try this. There's a reason for that. I'm trying to get them out of the way of this arrow, but being in a little bit more, I think it's not a bad idea. Anyway, yeah, I'll think about that. Whether I want to go on Periscope at the same time and bring some papers with the URLs on them. I should have the lyrics done by then. I can promote that. And what I was going to say was, one of the things I really want to show is the postcards. While all the other scopers are here, I want to show all the postcards that we've gotten. Oh, perfect. For me, that's perfect. Look at that. What do you think, Henry? Do you like the position of that? Oh, perfect. Thank you. Thanks for typing that. For me, from my perspective, that works absolutely perfect. Okay. Now, for those of you who don't know, okay, good, thanks. Because it is virtually perfect for me in my uncluttered full screen mode. For those of you who don't know, you can send us a postcard here at late night in Taiwan through the, of course, the U.S. mail. Hey, or whatever mail system you use. Hey, how you doing, Shirley? Nice to see you. Just bumped to you too. If you go to TaiwanLive.tv, go to the menu, scroll down to Late Night Show, and look at the page. That page features some information about what we do here, and it features a playlist of all the late night show videos that we have on YouTube. If you scroll down, you'll see it'll say mailing labels for postcards. If you click on that, you can download a PDF file that you can print out and paste on to your postcard as a mailing label. It's Chinese and English interlaced, so it makes it really easy. And you can send us a postcard, and when you send us a postcard, and when we get it, we're going to show it on the air. We're going to talk about it. We like that. So, we didn't get Shirley's yet. Excuse me. Caspar sent one. We haven't shown that yet. But Caspar sent one, and we did get it. So when he's here, we're going to show it. He'll be here next Sunday. We're doing good. Everybody's doing well. I'm not sure Dave in Osaka's joined us yet. John Ho stopped in for a few minutes. It's always nice to see him. John Ho can't make it. We're really upset, but I got a couple of these Vietnam spring rolls and the greens that go with them. Oh great, my chopsticks fell on the floor. Well, that's okay, I'm eating with my hands anyway. So yeah, we had Thai food next door at the Thai place tonight. Oh yeah. Who doesn't? Who doesn't love Vietnam spring rolls? Even the fresh rolls or the deep fried ones, they're all good. Oh, you're too kind, Sylvia. Thank you. Nice to see you. Sylvia, how do you like the new look with the burned streams? You know, the burned comments on the stream. What do you think? I think it's looking good. I tell you, I got nothing but good things to say about Streamlabs. They made it possible to do this. Remember, I used to have to read every single comment because people watching the replay were clueless as to what people were saying. And now look at it. Sylvia, it is always a pleasure to have you with us. You have a migraine? Sylvia, you and I need to have a DM. I suffer from migraines. Initially, the main issue I had for migraines lasted about 5 years, but the residual effects lasted about 20 years or so. Opening a restaurant in Taiwan, my opinion on that, it would depend on what kind of food. What kind of food do you want to do? I mean, if you hit on successful food, Taiwanese people will patronize a restaurant. You can make a lot of money. And a number of foreigners are doing quite well, especially here in the Jubei area. Indonesian. Well, there's an Indonesian restaurant in my neighborhood, but it's like, you know, just a lady, somebody's mom who's cooking, you know, so I do. I think my opinion is if you can do the education, you know what I'm saying? If you can educate the people to how good the food is, they will buy it. And certain things are trendy, like steak has been trendy for about 4 years now. And a lot of steak restaurants have been popping up. But I think it could be good. I mean, I think it could be successful here. The thing to do maybe is to do it in, well, there's a Malaysian restaurant that does quite well. And, oh, I see. I'm a lot better, Sylvia, but you and I need to DM because I have a little bit of information that I'd like to tell you about my situation. But if you want, it's on my blog. My migraines were caused by artificial sweetener. I'm allergic. I'm PKU. I'm a phenylketonuria, and I didn't know it. Nobody told me. I mean, I never had the test, since I didn't know. So I'm allergic to phenylalanine, which is, you know, the main ingredient in aspartame and NutraSweet. But if you go to my blog, the nhbushman.com, you can read all about it. There's an article that I wrote called "My Experience with Artificial Sweeteners." Okay. Well, the thing to do is like the the Malaysian restaurant that's in Jubei is upscale. Okay, good. My pleasure, Sylvia. I'll DM you, okay? The Malaysian restaurant is upscale. It's promoted as upscale. You walk inside, it's very nicely appointed, you know, and things, important things like, you know, the cutlery, the dishes, all those things are all upscale. I think if you marketed an upscale Indonesian restaurant, it could be successful. But I also think you probably have to have a sign outside with pictures of the food and descriptions so people know what it is. It is. It is all about appearances. And, you know, you've got the music stand outside, you know, with the book. Yes. By the way, are we good to go? Nice. Where's that going to be? Where's that going to be and how can we see it? Is that going to be streamed? Oh, Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Oh, that's cool. Wow. I wouldn't mind seeing that. That's pretty cool. That's really cool. I like that. November 2018. Wow. That gives you plenty of time to get ready. How long is your presentation? This is cool. It is. That's fantastic. Hopefully, we know what you meant. Hopefully by then, you'll be able to talk about the success of the Bootsy project. That'd be cool. Now, this is my last one. I'm gonna eat it bareback with the fish sauce. Cool. Excellent. All right, I'm done with this. Now, when the scopers are here, I'm going to bring the LED chopsticks. You understand? Okay, good. Sounds good. Well, we are ready. I think 2018 is going to be the year of great accomplishments for us. That's what I think. I think we're going to accomplish a great deal because we've got the vertical farming and the sugar factory and a whole bunch of stuff. So, isn't that cool, Sylvia? That is cool. That's really cool. I like your little emojis there. You guys need to meet. You guys haven't met yet, have you? I would like to meet Sylvia too, and I want to meet. I want to, you know, my thing is, I want to meet every one of you guys. So, good. I'd like to meet Henry. I just don't know when I'm going to be anywhere near Sweden, but I know I'm going to go to Indonesia again, so I got a chance maybe to meet Sylvia next time. That'd be cool. The funny thing is, you guys know this, right? I went to Bali, and I was psyched. So I talked to Shirley. I said, "Hey, Shirley, you know, I'm going to be in Bali." She goes, "Oh, I won't be here." So Shirley and I still haven't met in person. It's hilarious. It's crazy. So anyway, that's just the way it is. I'm about ready. In the next week, I'm going to finalize my trip to Florida because I talked to my brother. I need to talk to Dr. Sears' office tomorrow. I'm going to finally lock it down, and then I'm going to meet Steve in Florida. Steve from Florida. I'm going to meet him. I already contacted him. I'm going to meet him, and we'll be on scope together. That'd be really cool. That will be sweet. Yeah, I love Steve. It's going to be. I got a big hug and kiss for him too. It's going to be nice. And my brother's going to be with us too, yeah. My brother John. You guys don't know about my brother John. He's 5 years younger than me. And he's got a sad story. I'm not really authorized to tell it, but if he wants to tell it, I'll let him tell it. But I know, isn't that wild? It's crazy. Global warming has us in a deep freeze. It just means that we've got really extreme weather. I know climate change is the issue, but you know, climate change it's illogical to assume that the climate is static. Just like the weather, climate is constantly in flux, constantly changing, and no matter what you do, in spite of what you do. So yeah, mankind has affected it or mankind hasn't affected it. It doesn't really matter. The point is there's a big change. But what, to me, in my opinion, is more important is global pollution. Climate change we can deal with somehow. We will survive, like mankind survived the last ice age, right? And we'll survive too. But global pollution, that'll kill you. If your food's poison, your water's poison, and you drink it and you eat it, you're done. So yeah, in my opinion, global pollution is more of an issue. But I don't want to get too polarized because I'm not an issues kind of person. Anyway, it's good to have all you guys with us. Let me see. I'm going to see something. It shows that we have 4 viewers. Yeah, and Henry says it's more warm there than it usually is. So yeah, a lot of it can be. A lot of it can be. But you know, in my travels, like when I was in Thailand, right? I would watch the caretaker of the resort take a big piece of styrofoam foam, a block of it, and light it on fire, and he would stick it under his charcoal, you know, to light the charcoal. And I kept thinking, oh, as long as, you know, most of the world does stuff like that, it just doesn't matter. Everybody in the United States tries to be green, and they try to be, you know, I mean, they're trying to outlaw fireplaces and all kinds of stuff. But when the rest of the world is doing it, I mean, do you think they really care in rural China? No, they don't. And so that's just how it is. In order for you to be effective, in order for you to care about stuff, you kind of have to be rich. You kind of have to be able to afford an alternative. And many people around the world can't afford an alternative. I remember another time, this same guy, I watched him he had an old bicycle inner tube, and he was cutting it into strips about this wide. He would cut the bicycle inner tube in strips, and he would light that on fire and use that to light his charcoal or his wood. So yep, they do, but they also need alternatives, you know. And like for the guy in the Thai village, the styrofoam was a you know, a waste product, and the bicycle inner tube was just something that somebody threw away, and he found out that it burned, and it burned slow, and it burned for a long time. He could cut a little piece out of it and burn for 5 minutes. That would start as charcoal. So that's what we're talking about. Anyway, my personal take is that if you look at human history, mankind can't rule himself. I mean, this thing is obvious. Mankind is not capable of ruling it himself. And if these problems were easy to solve, they would have been solved a long time ago. I mean, every time they had a world war, they had a chance to clean the slate. So they had 2 in the 20th century. They had World War I. And did they clean the slate? No. 20-something years later, they had World War II. Did they clean the slate? No. They had the Korean conflict and the Vietnam War, and then 44 wars in the rest of the year since then. I mean, the rest of the century since then. So, I read that. I read that, Henry, and I think you're probably right. I think it is pollution. I heard, you know, the thing is, right, is if you read these reports and you really dwell on them, you're going to get scared. You're not even going to sleep at night. I mean, I read a report about about the bees, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, bees are disappearing. What's going to happen? Flowers won't be pollinated. Crops won't be pollinated. I don't know what to tell you. But what Shirley's talking about is new farming methods where they build a building up and they use LED lights, and so it's an enclosed environment. There's no seasons except the optimal growing season. That's the environment that they're trying to, recreate. It's like springtime. And LED lights. Oh, hear the rain? It's really coming down. Look at that back there. See that? It's really coming down. And so, the vertical hydroponics. That's one of the projects that Shirley and I and our corporation that we have put together are trying to do. And in addition to that, sugar production too. You think so? Well, I like it, but if you got any ideas, I need one for the Phoenix Media Forge too. But Shirley is the one that did my Taiwan live. All right, well, it's okay with me. I mean, I'm interested in seeing whatever you got. So yeah, let's go for it. I made a clear background for it, for the website and stuff. When you gave me that one, I put it everywhere. So that's all right. It wasn't important. We did not build a studio this year, so Phoenix Media Forge. Yep. I want the Phoenix bird with a hammer in one hand, smashing an iPhone on an anvil. Where's our pal Dave? Dave in Osaka. Now, I think Sylvia's gone. And if Sylvia's gone, I want to say good evening. And well, if she's gone, it's too late. But if she listens to the replay, I'll say good evening. We miss you when you leave, but thank you for coming in. And I wish Dave in Osaka would join. In the late night group. Okay, thank you, Sylvia. Sorry I'm talking about you. Hey, you know what? But I'll tell you one thing. We just found out that the latency is good, isn't it? The latency is really good on YouTube. I have it set for low latency, and it's really good. I'm impressed. In the late night group. Now, we have a late night group on Twitter. And no, I'm not looking. I'm really not looking. There are a couple that I've seen, but I'm not looking. I'm keeping this S7 Edge for a while. I usually keep my phones for 2 years. And so later on this year, I'll be looking at replacing it. But that Note 8 looks really nice. Really? Well, what kind of, oh, I know what I want to do. What kind of, what are you worried about? I'm gonna make Sylvia a moderator. And Henry's already a moderator. Oh, no, I want to make Henry a moderator too. There you go. Okay, Henry and Sylvia are now moderators. Because I trust you guys. I trust you implicitly. In the late night group, excuse me, I gotta pick my teeth for a second. And in Asia, we always cover our mouth. We do gross stuff, which is good. Yeah, millennial kids. Well, I think there's so many millennial kids just because that's when their parents decided to have children. But I know what you're talking about. You mean millennial snowflakes? I think that's what you mean is snowflakes. But I might be wrong. I might be misinterpreting what you mean. Why don't you tell me what you mean instead of me telling you? In the late night group on Twitter, we were talking about Logan Paul. Okay. A big, beautiful phoenix with a big hammer, on the iron forge, smashing an iPhone. Yeah. That's what I see. But I'm no artist. I don't know. I'm a musical artist, but not a visual artist at all. talking about this guy, you know, Logan Paul, has been such a drag. But the thing that's even worse are the backlash videos. Now, in the late night group, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was Henry that published that posted an article that was published about that, talking about that. And you know, there are people saying don't forgive Logan Paul, and they are putting themselves in the position of being gods, deciding whether somebody is worthy of forgiveness or not. You know what I mean? That's not what we do as humans. It's not our purview. You can decide personally if you want to forgive somebody or not. But for me, forgiveness depends on repentance. You know what I mean? So, well, yeah, but look at the parents. Look at the parents. Look, I said this. It was Dave. Okay, it was Dave. Thank you, Henry. It was Dave that said that posted that. Yeah. Look at the parents. You know, they're atheists. They don't have any higher authority that they look to. The highest authority that they have is mankind. And people just go, big deal. Seriously. I mean, look at the quality of parents. That's all you got to do. That's why I know everybody thinks it's outside of my group. They think it's odd. But I read to my kid. I pray with my kid. I show her that I believe in a higher power and that we're answerable to a higher power. So, you know, things that are right and wrong are decided by the higher power. Okay. Yes. And I read that. Thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, I mean, these kids, they don't know what's right and wrong, and you listen to their language and they throw around expletives like crazy. It's nuts. They don't even know how to communicate. There's an old joke, okay, in English, and it stands to reason. It's like, how do Teamsters teach their kids the alphabet, you know, F and A, F and B, F and C. I mean, that's how those kids talk. And so that one guy that came on and said that, you know, Logan Paul shouldn't be forgiven, that's not up to a human being to decide, in my opinion. Now, the thing is, in order to be forgiven, you have to repent. And the definition of repentance is that you stop doing the bad thing you were doing and turn around and go the other way. Go back, you know, and change your personality so that whatever you were doing, you're not going to go back down that road and do it again, right? That's the whole point. It's kind of like some people say, and it's the truth, that you should be re-educated about it. And so, I don't know. The way I see it is, if this guy apologizes, okay, that's fine. But we'll watch him carefully, and we'll see what he does. Thank you. We'll see what he does in, oh, yes. Oh, your, Y-O-U-R and apostrophe R-E, and oh my goodness, oh. Shirley, don't get me started on that. But what I'm saying is that if we watch this guy and he goes to the next country and he disrespects people that way, the same way, then you know he's not repentant. But if he goes to the next country and he's meek and mild and polite, and you go, well, hey, you know, maybe the guy learned his lesson. It's a different story. You know what I'm saying? I think, personally, anything can be forgiven, but it depends on the person. It depends on the person who committed the sin, if you want to say that, or the wrongdoing, or the, you know, the trespass, or whatever, you know, whatever word you want to use. It depends on that person, on their attitude. Don't get me started on the grammar. I remember I had a young roommate. He was 24, and I would be sitting next to him. You know, we were talking, and he would be chatting with some girl on Yahoo, and she would say, "Oh, you're such a cuttie." C-U-T-T-I-E. She means cutie. Oh, you're such a cuttie. And that was the meme that I was, Colby, you're such a cuttie. So yeah, that's true. But my question is why does a grown man, especially a grown man who's earned a lot of money and should have responsibility, why does he need that approval from social media? I don't know. I don't know. To them, it's validation. To them, it's validation. See, for me, a certain number of haters means I'm doing the right thing. This is the way I look at it. People start coming down on me for some things. I figure, I think I nailed it. Anyway, because you know I'm a Bible reader, and I understand the Bible principles behind these things, like repentance and forgiveness and so forth. And there are unforgivable sins, and it doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about. But for the most part, you know, it does. It does allow it to happen. But then they can't be the referee for everything. You know what I mean? It's just that some of these millennials are so profane and stuff. I guess if you want to say, well, you're using the F word too much, you know. But I mean, again, it's censorship. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? The thing that bothers me, I guess this is really the main thing, is that people think he's a role model. He ain't no role model. In no way, shape, or form is that guy a role model. And he's got young kids looking at him, looking up to him like he's something. The guy's nothing. I mean, get a haircut. No, he took down the video. Somebody flagged the video, YouTube took it offline, reviewed it, and put it back. He took it down because the other YouTubers were eating him alive. He's the one that took it down. Yeah, the other YouTubers, see the reactionary, this is funny now. Funny, strange, not funny, humorous. The reactionary, oh, I see. Well, okay, that doesn't surprise me. But the reactionary guys are only interested in the numbers that they can get. They really don't care about the issue. They don't care about the issue. They do enough research on the issue to go jump on it and start yelling at people about it. But they're just trying to capitalize, you know, on the hashtags. That's all they're doing, these reactionary videos. Yeah. There was a girl years ago that people ended up hating. They called herself the reply girl, because all she did was reply to videos. And she made sure that she wore a really, really low cut. She's well endowed. She wore a really low cut shirt that showed plenty of cleavage. And she's got, you know, a bazillion views. The reply girl. Nobody cares. When you're a nobody, nobody cares what you think, right? But anyway, yeah, those reactionary videos. If you want views on YouTube or even Periscope, all you got to do is find some kind of a controversy. Figure out the controversy, pick a side. Doesn't matter if it's the high ground or the low ground, but just be, you know, like adamant about it and go off. Just go off on that person. Use all the expletives that you want and act like a maniac, and you'll get a zillion views. No, he didn't. It didn't. It wasn't really an apology per se. He's just trying to get the, you know, yeah, that's the thing. There's no remorse. He's just trying to get the reactionary guys, you know, off his back, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. See, you can't get the reactionary guys off your back. If you screw up, there's going to be a dog pile. You screw up really bad, there's going to be a bigger dog pile, and you have to accept that. So don't react to the dog pile. React to what's going on. If you hurt somebody's feelings, some individual or their family or a nation or a group, focus on them and make sure that you apologize to them and try to set things straight with them. And the dog pile will do whatever they're going to do. There's nothing you can do about it. But don't apologize to the dog pile. Okay? That's like dumping a bunch of blood in the water and jumping in and telling the shark, oh, don't bite me, because I apologize, don't bite me. Okay, it's blood in the water. And it's not going to happen. So make sure that you make it right with the people, you know, that have been harmed. And in this case, it was the person's family. And he should have made it right with them. But he didn't. So he was trying to make it right with the dog pile. And you can't. Because the dog pile doesn't care. Dog pile only cares about them, about their views. And so what some of the people were doing were making like reactionary videos using clips of the original video that you can't see anymore. And they were like showing stuff that really shouldn't have been shown. So they were wrong too. Yes. Yeah. Well, here's what I always say. Listen, you know, you guys know me. You know, I got my little my 5-year-old daughter, and I'm teaching her to believe in God, and I'm teaching her about, you know, where our idea of morals and right and wrong come from, and we pray together. And I'm teaching her about things like the other day I had another talk with her about pedophiles, and I wanted to know what it is. But the reason I'm doing that is because if I don't give her a value set, she'll get her own value set from somewhere else. And I don't know where it'll come from or what it is. That's right. And you know something, I can't blame you. And that's why I'm glad I can speak Chinese a little bit, and I live in Taiwan, so I can say, oh, I don't know them, you know. That's not me. But the fact is, ladies and gentlemen, if you do not give your children a set of values from you, I'm saying something profound here. If you do not give your children a set of values from you, family values from your family, they will get their own from the world. And nobody knows what it's going to be. Nobody. You don't know what your kids are going to end up believing in, or believing is right or wrong. And these crimes that are committed by basically children are because their parents didn't give them their value set. They didn't pass that on. And some parents are like, well, I don't want to spank my kid, or I don't want to chastise my kid. You need to correct your children. You need to straighten them out. They're like arrows in your, you know, in the quiver. You know, you've got to aim them, or they're going to go awry. They're going to go off target. That's just what's going to happen. And so if you don't have the responsibility, I mean, if you don't take on the responsibility of teaching your kids, maybe you shouldn't have them. Sorry. I know it hurts, but so maybe. When you marry a woman and you decide to get married and you know you're going to have kids, you need to have this discussion. You need to, you know, what religion are we going to raise them in? What value system are we going to teach them? You know, what languages are we going to talk to them in? You have to decide all this stuff ahead of time. It may be unpleasant. You may not like to do it, but you have to do it because the results of not doing it are devastating. You'll end up with children that you don't even know. I mean, I've seen that before. You know, my kid came down to breakfast. He's 15 years old. He sat across from me at the breakfast table. I don't even know who he is. That's your fault. Not the kid's fault. That's your fault. Yeah, I think he might be done. Yeah, you might be right. But who knows? I mean, his views have gone up. He's now on the radar of a lot of people that didn't know he existed before. But anyway, sorry, I don't mean to be so preachy. And you know, we got on this topic, but I'm just telling you, I'm an older guy and I've got a young kid, and I just know how it works. I remember being brought up by my father. I remember my father instilling his value set in me. Now that I'm a grown man and I have my own kid, I can choose parts of that value set or the complete value set that he gave me. I can modify it. I can add to my own that I've learned. You know what I'm saying? But I have something to work with. I've got a moral toolbox, if you will, okay? And I see some of these kids, and you know what I say to my wife is, frequently I go, how come he doesn't know that's wrong? What's wrong with this kid? He doesn't know that's wrong. Like, what used to happen in my neighborhood is kids would be walking down the street, and they'd want to play. So they would walk over to a car and just snap a radio antenna off the hood of the car and use it for a sword. Then they would, you know, go down the street for 5 or 10 steps and just throw it on the side of the road. And then they were done with it. Why don't they know that's wrong? Because their parents never taught them. And something that we say a lot of times in Chinese is, oh, your mother never taught you, right? Oh, ni mama mei jiao ni. We say that, right? And I say that to Taiwanese, and they look at me like, whoa, you understand that? Of course I understand that. It's the same. It doesn't matter what language you say it in, yeah. So you got ignorant children, you know, it's because your mama didn't teach you. So I want to be, and I'm sure you want to be, a person that your mama taught you, you know, that people look at you and go, oh, your mama taught you. Yeah, exactly. But guys like, you know, when I look at Logan Paul, you know, the hand that I got to smack Logan Paul, I'm not going to smack Logan Paul. I'm going to smack his mother. I'm going to smack his father. So, okay, yeah, gives him too much money. Yeah, but where are the parents? You see what I'm saying? Okay, what you just did was, you just validated what I said. I don't want to smack Logan Paul. I want to smack his parents. What were you thinking? What were you doing? What was so important that you had a kid and you let him turn into that? What was so important? I got to tell you something. To me, nothing's more important than my kid. And you guys know, because sometimes I don't stream. I don't even come online because I'm too busy with my kid. And nobody's going to chastise me for that, right? Nobody. MJ, you should have came on no matter what. Nah, nobody's ever said that. Nobody ever will. Yeah, the smack that you got for the Logan guy, maybe he needs a hug. Maybe he needs a shoulder. Maybe he needs somebody to guide him, you know? It's his parents. And that's what I actually said that in a reply on one of the Twitter threads. I said I blame the parents. Yeah. Well, there you go. There you go. Now, when I was 22, I was on my own. I moved to Boston by myself for the record business, and I got a job, you know, in a company. So it's like, they should have came out and apologized. They should have. But I was able to act on my own in a way that he couldn't, because my father taught me. When my parents were divorced, I moved with my dad, and I was raised by my father. And he pretty much sometimes beat me, okay, into me, a value set. And so obviously these parents were too busy, you know, thinking about themselves. And today, the biggest problem that I have with kids, right, excuse me, the biggest problem I have with parents is, I go places with my wife, and I see a little kid, and the little kid's going like this. What's mommy and daddy doing? FOB. FB is what they call Facebook in Asia. I can't tell you how many times I've seen this. And the other day, I saw a couple. They came into a restaurant, sat right next to us, didn't say a word for an hour. They sat down and got their phones out. And the man turned his phone sideways. That's serious. When the man turns his phone sideways, landscape mode, you know it's serious. Yes, I'm sure they did. Yep. But what do you expect? You know, they don't have any guidance. They didn't say a word. Then the waitress came. They looked up, put their phones away, and they started eating. And now their mouths are full and they're too busy eating. No talking. They didn't say a word for an hour. And I looked at my wife, and I looked at them, and I was like, "You believe this?" So many times I want to go over to parents and I want to say, put the phone away. Your kid needs you. The kids are looking around. What are they going to do? Do you think they're not going to learn? Do you think they're not going to develop ideas? Do you think they're not going to make deductions just because you're busy on your phone with Facebook or Line? No. They are. They're just going to do them without you. And this is what happens. This is what I was saying before. If you don't give your kids this value set, they'll get it on their own from the world. And it's going to suck and it's going to hurt. Because you know what? They're not going to need you. One of the worst things a parent can hear is their child tell them, well, you know, Daddy, you know, Mommy, I don't need you. Yeah, that's right. Well, there you go. Oh, I feel really old right now. And not physically. I mean, talking about this stuff makes me sound like it's some old codger, you know what I mean? But my goodness, when are these people going to wake up? Hey, John, how you doing? Welcome back. We're having a heavy discussion here, John. Everybody say hi to John. And follow John on YouTube. No, not about being old. What we were talking about was if you don't give your children a value set, they get their own. I've been talking about this for a while, and I said it makes me feel old because I'm telling people this stuff. We're talking about, yeah, I am already old. Yeah, you're right. I know it. I don't mind it. But I'm the hottest 61-year-old you know. The thing is we're talking about Logan Paul and the millennial generation and how, you know, in some respects it's not their fault. Here in Taiwan, I see a lot of parents. I seen a lot of, no, she didn't. I've seen a lot of parents sitting with their kid, and the kid is just bored, looking around, nothing to do, and the parents are on the phone, and they're not even paying attention to the kid. And the kid will say something, and they're like, or they'll tell him, shh, I'm busy, I'm on Facebook. Like that's more important, you know? So there's an old scripture, and it says you will reap what you sow. And if you sow those kind of seeds, that's the fruit that you're going to reap. Anyway, now I trust you guys' judgment. Have I been too preachy? Gosh, I hope not, because if I've been too preachy, then I got to delete this scope, this YouTube scope, actually. Yeah, the idiot balls. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And how he really wasn't apologizing to the family. He was apologizing to the dog pile that piled up on him, you know. All the reactionary videos. He was apologizing to those guys. And you can't. Because they won't let up. The dog pile doesn't care. The dog pile wants their own views. They're going to eat you like sharks. Like I said earlier, and you weren't here, John, but I said it's like pouring water. Pouring blood in the water and jumping in until the sharks don't eat me. Oh, thank you. Love the preachy MJ, thank you. Yeah, you should hear me when I really preach Bible stuff. Actually, you might like it. But the thing is, right, is he may not be completely responsible for what he did. I think he's just a product of his upbringing. Now, he's 22 years old, and ultimately, he should be held responsible. But he better learn, because like I said, when I was 22, you know, I was already a recording artist, and I moved to Boston for the record industry. And we decided that instead of playing on the road, we were going to get jobs and put our money together and buy recording time. And I got a full-time job in an electronics company, you know, at 22. I mean, that's what I was doing. So anyway, me at 22 was a totally different completely different perspective than this guy at 22. But can you imagine our Dave in Osaka? First of all, Dave wouldn't have been in that forest. But if he was anywhere and saw anything remotely like that, the scope would end immediately. It would be deleted, and he would apologize for inadvertently doing something undignified. That's the kind of people that we hang out with. That's the kind of people that we follow. And those are my followers too. Dignified. Dignity. That's the key word here. You see, this whole thing that's going on with these millennials is they lack dignity. True. They lack patience too, yep. Yeah, I know. They lack patience sometimes in Taiwan too, but yeah. John, while you're here, I just want to ask you, what do you think of the comments burning to the stream on YouTube? What do you think about how that looks? It's pretty useful, don't you agree? And I have the latency on the live stream setting set to the lowest setting, the lowest latency. It means I can't stream in 4K, but I'm not going to stream in 4K. The 720 is good enough. I'm scary in 4K. So what do you think? I think the comments burned to the screen are pisser, as we say in Boston. In Boston, it's pissa. Sylvia, may I ask, do you feel any better? I know you've been listening, and I know you can't type a lot. But how's your migraine? Is it getting any better? And the good news is you live in Indonesia, which is closer to Bali. Bali is part of Indonesia. And if you need to find some herbal medication for headache, that's the place. Yeah, people can see the wrinkles. Shut up. They can see the wrinkles in 720. Thank you very much. The wrinkles. I still say I'm the hottest 61-year-old you've ever seen. We includes me. Okay? I'm just saying, we includes me. We all don't want that. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Let me do this. John, let me scroll back. Oh, let me do this. Oh, sorry. It switched. John, I want to make you a moderator. There you go. John Ho's a moderator. Everybody I know and everybody I trust gets to be a moderator on my channel. And the more moderators we have, the better it is. You guys can give anybody else a timeout. You can block them. You can do whatever you want. So there you go. And that's what that little icon is. You know, if you look at the end of the text box. So. Oh, okay, excellent. Well, Sylvia, you know, I think in a lot of respects, I think you and I do see things the same way. And I know that you agree with me about raising children and giving them the value set. That is integral, mainly to a Chinese family. And I know an Indonesian family, and you're Indonesian Chinese. So I know that your parents have spent time training you, trying to give you a value set and trying to teach you right from wrong. And in the relatively short time that I've known you, I've seen you react to different things, and I know you know right from wrong, so I can tell. So there you go. Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking over here. It's some customers coming in. So John, we're going to go upstairs next door to the same room that Jevons and you and I went in last year, next Sunday. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I checked the room actually here in the coffee shop, and it is huge. It was a huge master bedroom, and the restroom has a shower in it. It's so big. So, don't get me started. Yeah, if you ever have a need for a karaoke room with a shower in the restroom, what do you? Maybe you got to take a shower and go to work. Who knows? But anyway, there it is. So we're all set for next week. Now, for those of you who haven't noticed, I've got a little bit of rosacea going on. See this? Let me tell you what happened. Sometimes it develops in people, and things like alcohol or spicy food, yeah, two things that I love, can aggravate it. But I used a Dettol, which is like a pine sol disinfectant that they have. It's not. It was a bedroom. Now it's a karaoke room. I'm saying this used to be a house. That was a master bedroom, and now it's a karaoke room. It's got the TV and the machine and the sofas and stuff in it. But it's a karaoke room. But Dettol is a disinfectant, kind of like pine sol in the West. And you mix it with water, and you can use it on your hair for dandruff. And it was a very, very effective way of fighting dandruff. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you very much. And so I used some of the Dettol, and what you do is you mix it like one cap, a half a cap with 800 milliliters of warm water, and you put it on your hair, and you leave it on for 10 minutes. And when I was done, the skin on my face was burnt chemically by this Dettol. And all of a sudden, I had these big rosy red cheeks, I looked like Santa Claus. If I didn't look like Santa Claus before. And my wife said, I came downstairs after I took my shower, and she said, "Whoa, what's wrong with your face?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" And I looked in the mirror, I was like, "Holy cow." And it hasn't gone away. So I'm afraid that these red patches may be a permanent feature from now on. So I'm going to go to a dermatologist and find out what I can do. But hey, if worst comes to worst, I'm in show business. I'm not above using makeup. But the great part about it is, for me, I don't have to look at it. You guys got to look at it. Except, I can just go like this. I don't have to look at it. I don't have to look at my own live streams, I don't have to look at it at all. What time is it, by the way? Oh, it's early. It's only 11. How long have we been on? Holy cow. An hour and 18 minutes. We have such fun on these live stream chats. So there you go. Yeah, I think it might be a permanent feature. So you can just say I'm a jolly person. The only thing that I wish is, if I was going to get it, that it would be like equal on each side. I see it's larger on this side than here. It's like a little bit over here and a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I wish it would never mind. Maybe I'll pour some Dettol on this side and try to, I guess that's a bad idea. So, anyway, you know what I'm saying. I'm going to go to the dermatologist and see what I can do. These days, there's a lot of treatments. They call it rosacea. And I don't know if it's actual rosacea or if it's just a reaction. It might be like what we call contact dermatitis. And it might be just a particularly chronic contact dermatitis. But I'm going to go to a dermatologist and see what I can do about it, and see if I can't get it rectified somehow, and we'll see. That's what I'm saying about balancing it. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, there you go. Thank you. Well, it's a little bit more prominent in person than it is on live stream. Because right now I got this big yellow thing, around me, and it's casting a huge light on my face, so what can I tell you? You hear that? Do you hear the rain? That must sound, if you guys got your earbuds in and you're listening in stereo, because YouTube is stereo, this rain must sound absolutely fascinating. Show of hands, who has earbuds in or is listening like on a TV in stereo? Who's listening in stereo? I should do a narration. Anybody? Anybody listening in stereo? Because I could always do the narration from up here. Nope, nobody has their earbuds in? Come on, I can't believe that. Look at the rain. This sounds like the background track to something about the rainforest. You know what I mean? So, okay, so you got your earbuds in? So if I go like this, and I go around the back and I go, the Amazon rainforest suffers from chronic deforestation at the rate of 150,000 square kilometers per year. I just made that up. But you know what I'm saying? In the headphones, that would be really cool with the rain background. Oh, really? But you know, Shirley, you've been responding really quickly, you know, to things that we're talking about, so. Okay. I don't know, you say you can't put it in stereo. I don't know how you can put it out of stereo. Anyway, because it's always, you know, Casper and I were always fascinated by, you know, the stereo nature of YouTube. But with the, you know, the rain coming down, that's pretty cool. It's a nice soundtrack. It's not too late. I might go home and play some guitar. That's how I'm feeling. Predict the conversation. You do? What am I going to say next? That's interesting. What am I going to say next? Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So I think John Ho is gone again. But that's okay. We're not going to talk about John Ho. At least nothing bad. Did you guys see the scope with him and JL and John from LA and Bex Rhea? And what was the other lady's name? Well, I know that Zora was there, and the other lady's name from the Philippines. I forget her name because I never saw her before. Anyway, did you see the scope? And Penguin 6, did you see the scope? They put the phone on the Lazy Susan and spun it around, and that was actually a very good thing. John did that. Anyway, that was typical Hong Kong food. And we're going to show you some Taiwanese food, but the thing is, we've got kind of a Thai bias here with the food that we're going to be showing in, okay, here next week. Where is Win Win? I don't see Win Win. Well, anyway, the thing is, next week when we go upstairs in the karaoke room, Win Win is going to join us, and then we can interview her. So, oh, I see. Okay, I understand. Well, I don't have the Periscope app anymore. I'm just using Twitter. And so, let me do this. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay. I thought Win-Win might be right there, but she's not. I was going to ask her to come over because everybody likes to say hi to Win-Win and we do a little bit of an interview. But when we're here next week on Sunday, and Win-Win goes upstairs with us, I'm going to encourage her to use Facebook Live, because if you guys remember last year when Jevons and John Ho and I went upstairs, Win-Win was desperately trying to connect what we were doing on Periscope to Facebook, and of course, you know, there's no way. You can only share. So I'm going to encourage Win-Win to go live, to press the go live button on Facebook, you know, while we're there. We'll see what we can do. Maybe Jevons can help her. Jevons is pretty good. He's pretty cross-platform knowledgeable. Plus, Win-Win has an iPhone, and he's an expert on iPhones too. So yeah, maybe we'll get him to help her with that. Anyway, I think it's time to say goodnight. Sylvia, I hope you feel better. I'm going to DM you about the headaches. Thank you, Shirley. Thank you, Henry. Thank you, John Ho. And who else did I miss? Other people that came in the scope tonight. I'm sorry. I've been drinking. Thank you so much for joining. And we will see you at least, the very least, on Thursday of this week. That's my usual night to come out and do a stream. And we are preparing for, thank you very much, Shirley. We are preparing for, okay, thank you. Well, we enjoyed having you too. Sylvia, thank you very much. We enjoyed having you with us. Thank you very much. So I'm going to come on Tuesday and I'll let you know about the song file, and I'll let you know about some URLs that we need to know about, and in preparation for Sunday, for the you know, the big night when the scopers are here. And if you have never met Yuka before, oops, sorry, I made a mistake. If you've never met Yuka before, she's extremely polite. And Henry, did I forget you, Henry? Oh, Brian May posted something on Instagram. I just got a notification. Yeah, Henry, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure meeting with all of you and hanging out. It's just been so much fun. So I will see you on Thursday in preparation for Sunday, and as always, I'll see you guys in the late night group on Twitter. And we're still kind of looking for an alternative place to go, you know, whether it's Google Hangouts or who knows. So keep that in mind, all right? And I'm definitely open to suggestions. So you guys take care, and thank you so much. And have a good evening, a good afternoon, daytime, wherever you are. Bye-bye. Thank you.